YouTube. It has been a little hiatus. Um, I was thinking about something. I was in Atlanta over. I was in Atlanta for Saturday, the whole day Saturday, and I left Sunday at 5. Side note: if you are over a certain age, if you take a trip like that and then you got to work Monday, you need a buffer day. And I was thinking about just R&B. Country music is still there. Pop music is still there. When they say that, you'll hear certain sayings that R&B is dead. That's not necessarily true. If you think about the evolution, if you think about the evolution of R&B, what it was. I would even say R&B at its height to me. And if I'm wrong, let me know this. R&B at its height to me was somewhere around, I would say, very late '80s. Because remember, we're not talking about New Jack Swing. That was a subgenre. I'm talking about just R&B in general. We're talking about R&B at its, like, you can sit down and vibe to it. You know, so I say that was somewhere around 90, 92ish. 92ish with the change of the sound. You had TLC, you had Brian Alexander Morgan, you had so many, you had Escape. And I was telling my wife, I said, you have so many amazing talents of R&B, so many groups. I said, you really don't find that right now. You really don't find that. And I believe it's because we do a lot of sampling. We do a lot of sampling where you'll hear a producer come in and do a lot of sampling. Kanye West is a sample producer. Sean Combs is a sample producer. And when you start going through sampling of a sound, you're not sampling original content. So what actually has happened to R&B, and we got neo soul, which is like a sub-genre. You got the let's see, what was it? Love. Let me see if I can remember how to play it. I can't even remember how to play it. Let me see. Haven't played it in such a long time, and I used to watch tutorials on it. Forgot how to play the song. But you have the creators. Are they even still creating anymore? Anytime I sit down at this board, I'm I'm actually in a creating zone. Uh, and we need more people to actually play. We need more players. We need more players in the R&B field. But what's that gonna take? What is it gonna take? And it's actually gonna take. I said in order to bring back R&B at its heyday. Oh, I like that. And those, as much as I like to say I take credit for those chords, that's not that's me just literally pulling in from an arsenal. That's literally me pulling in from an arsenal of so we need players. When you sit down at your board, um is there a way you can come up with original content? Yes and no. I like that. And it actually takes you sitting down at your board and saying, how can I make this sound different? How can I search for new sounds? And when you're searching for new sounds, I mean, it's a lot of experimenting. Kind of like this song "Raindrops Falling on My Head." I like that. I like that. I like that. That was just me just toying around with it. So we're gonna start off with the. So when I'm thinking about trying to get it a more soulish. There it is. Or let me see if I could. No. Let's go with the. No. So it's gonna take a lot of you just experimenting at your board. How to make something, how to take a song. And then this is how it's written. And we're gonna go with the. It's literally gonna take you coming to the board and saying, what can I draw out different? It's gonna take a lot of you listening. A lot of you listening to old R&B songs, pulling out old hymns. And we got to go all the way back to, I was listening to Halftime Chat, which talks about music, and the group Intro. And it wasn't Kenneth Green, he was the singer, but it was the keyboardist. When he had to get ready, he said I went back and I had to get the R&B feel, and I went back and I started listening to Commission. You know, he listened to Commission, which included Fred Hammond. There's another guy. Let me see if I can get my phone going here. That was part of Commission. Very, very good singer. That's not going anywhere. But you got to actually go back, and in order to go back, you got to go back and you got to search for that sound. You know, you got your Stevie Wonders. Let me see if I could. No, let's go. Where we're going with it. So we can suzz it. You know, and it's gonna take you just toying around with old classic songs and how to make that yours. I was even thinking about the song you guys heard me play, Tender Love. That's your A. And we're starting off with the A, so I'm sorry, D. So let's see if we could so we go with the 7. So let's go, that's a 7. The second, it actually turns into a D flat major 7. At 4, but I'm looking for that's not really R&B feeling. That's not R&B. That's something a little bit different. But what I'm searching for here is I'm searching for actually how does that song make you feel? And sometimes you may have to change the voicing of a song's, you know, cool EP. Look at your fingers, and it's almost like, okay, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? Remember, we took this. And this is how it is in the studio. It's like the guys come in, and when they come out with phenomenal pieces of work, you'll hear about a Devontae Swing. And you got to live in a creative lane. That's like a that gives you that. So let me see it. it's also a movement. No. So, it's a little bit too muffled. So I'm just searching for sounds. Search for sounds. Maybe the lyrics may come later. And all that I get from just get from your normal repertoire. And mind you, these are my chords. None of these are mine. None of these are mine, but I've added them to my vocabulary so I can start creating. And every now and then, it's kind of like I'll actually pull it. I'll pull it and use it as my arsenal. It's kind of like we were talking about what is it? Classical piece. Not my chords, shock G. But you guys can see how I kind of pulled that. And we're gonna land home. So the more you start where do we find this? We're gonna just blend it. So I'm basically everything that I'm reading, I'm pulling into my vocabulary, and I'm engrafting that to search for a sound. And then when I search for that specific sound, I'm just gonna keep pulling different songs until I get that feeling that I'm looking for, that R&B feeling. You know, where was that song? I forgot the song. Cripes. Hold on. You see, if you don't use it, you lose it. Little church song. You know, you guys recognize that. So, you know, that's help me with the lyrics. Oh, the anthem, Tom Delaney. Okay. So we can take Tom Delaney's We was on to something. Let's So you guys are seeing how I'm pulling from different places. I'm different places. Like I never, until right now, I never thought to do that. I'm like, so let me see. So that's how we start to get new sounds from R&B. Listen to the halftime chat. Just Google halftime chat Brian Alexander Morgan, and you know his story pretty much amazed me. So does who was that? There's Kenel Gaskins that passed away, very good pianist. Sean Martin, and I'm thinking, I'm like, is it genetic or is it just a love for what they do? You know, and a lot of times, some of these later stories I'm catching this all for Brian Alexander Morgan was like, no, I started playing at 10. I didn't have any formal training. I don't know where these nets are coming from. I didn't have any formal training, and it's like when people ask me about piano, you know, I did not have any formal training. Not to say, now formal training means that you didn't have any training when you started playing. My thing is, I used to play the violin, and my song that I used to come and do is, you know, I used to, a song called Long Ago. Here it is. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know what I was doing. I was doing that as a kid, taking what I played on the violin and coming over to any piano I can get my hands on. I couldn't really get my hands on. Didn't have any formal training as a kid. And I used to just come and do what he did. Just sit down and try to figure out the chords. I like that, what we did earlier. What was it? Was so let's go with the. And sometimes here's a secret. A lot of songs are, you know. Whenever I hear a musician say, "Okay, where am I going with it?" That means we're onto something. It's like uh, so we're working in the key of G, or is it the key of D? And that can kind of be if I see another gnat, fruit, I don't know what you call it. So where we're going there. Remember, we're gonna keep it not major. So and this is how we had to make it of a R&B song. So good. You see how you get that feel in it? So are we going? We're not a key. Kind of like that. That's like a re-intro to it's, yeah. Okay, so let me see. So we can kind of do so this is so come up with it. There you go. So let's see if we can change that to So if I was in the studio and there was a guitar player, it depends on the feel of the song. That could be a melody. I like that over that F sharp. I like that. Anyway, we just need to start playing R&B again. Not sampling R&B. We actually need to get that feeling. That feeling. Okay. Yeah. That made me feel good. That made me feel good. So we don't need to bring R&B back. We actually need to go in reverse. And we need to start. Can you hear it? See, sometimes you gotta change the voice. So you couldn't hear that in the piano voice. 042. Because it kind of drowns it out. So if we take a higher. So let's go with the. Hold on. That's a. So we got your C. That's your C7. Yeah, sometimes you got to get that feeling. So that was actually I gotta go. Peace.